Hey guys, welcome back to FrontLine. That's right, FrontLine is back and we're doing something a little bit different this time because I'm going to be commentating over the top of the gameplay, which is something I said I'd do in my 500th video to bring the series back, because a lot of people, they want it to be about the gameplay, about what's going on. So I'm showing you footage here. Obviously the footage is edited to protect players' names and things like that, so that's going to be something we'll have to be mindful of. But of course, yeah, we'll be commentating over the top of it. That way I won't have to concentrate on playing, so I'm just watching the footage back, basically. So as you can see, I'm playing a player here, pretty good player. We've dealt GDI, yeah, there's GDI vanilla in this game here. We're on Volcano Struggle. Now we're going for the front spike. I was pretty confident I could get it. We can see that our opponent is a GDI player as well, so pretty stock standard stuff. 2 engineers coming out, I believe. Did I go for a second engineer? No, perhaps I've only gone for 1 engineer, so 4 rifleman squads. I'm going to get both those garrison. That garrison there is quite important because it allows you to see quite a lot. As I've damaged, I chase that scout because I've damaged it. That means I can kill it as long as no other scout comes along. And basically, yeah, we'll be able to kill that one. Then we're going to go see his base, a very short rush distance, so no reason why you can't scout on this level here. We'll see if I'm moving along the edge because I'm trying to bait out a tower, because if he drops a tower I can run away. There you go, look at that. I'm trying to bait him out to drop a tower because that's expensive. Even when he sells it's another 300 bucks that he loses, and that you can see they're keeping an eye on the top squad to make sure he isn't going to get like killed by a second hidden squad. Waypoints, they're getting a bit out of control. Not sure what happened there. Cancelling the watchtower because I now need the money. You can always have a watchtower queued at the start because if you need it, you've got it there. And almost thought I dropped that sideways then, but no, that's okay. He did drop a tower and he pulled a harvester off the line momentarily, so every little bit counts, but that's just another scouting squad he had to build. We're going to move to expand very shortly. He's doing pretty much the same thing that I've done here, so I'm going to expand. You got to be very careful on the expansion here, not so much against GDI players, but against like Nod players here. I'm going to run back to the garrison. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get there before any of his scouts make their way down there. So both sides have a spy, keeping a quick eye on what he's doing. I can see his war factory, and that's all I need to see. I'm very comfortable just having a look what his war factory is doing. And of course we've got reset the waypoint to be at the expansion, so my next harvester I don't even have to move it. Gonna just move that scout into the next building. APC comes out because I believe I'm going for an APC engineer here. I think that's why I was going to do it, because pretty good level for APC engineer. You can come from the top of the map into the expansion and they won't really notice it at all. That's what the barracks is for. And with the barracks we can also actually take the middle spike as well. I've actually gone for some pit bulls, so I've got the harvester out to go to the expansion, so this will be my 6th harvester, going to try to kill that scout in my base. I've got some hotkeys for the APC engineer, so you can see how very quick or very efficient at organizing those. So that APC, alright, cool. I've scouted his base here, so that's why I left the building. I got another engineer because basically we can take the spike. It's right there. Going to sell that off and send the riflemen to that building there now. Did he actually just... He just killed my engineer, so he had a scout right there, so that was pretty good. The APC will be able to clean it up. He probably knows there's going to be an APC heading down there now, so he's probably wary that, you know, just a singular APC, it's probably me doing my NG APC. So that's something that a lot of people have seen me do before. He hasn't actually got down any refineries yet, and he's got Predator tanks coming out, you can see. So obviously something's up here. There's actually a Predator tank right in front, so I'm not 100% sure why that Predator tank is out there, because it's going to allow these pit bulls to get a really easy kill on that Predator tank and then get the repairs. 2 more Predator tanks coming. Again, my opponent is actually not too bad. He's not like pro or anything like that, but he's still pretty good. And it's going to be quite an interesting game. This is quite a good game as well because it gets quite tight. I'm just going to shoot at his MCV because it's going to send alarm bells off. It's going to say base is under attack and he might panic momentarily, stuff like that. I've got another engineer out to take that spike. I've got a few pit bulls. The pit bulls were just to keep him busy. They were to distract him while the engineer got into his base. But of course, with those Predator tanks heading at me, that didn't happen. I'm pretty sure he knows it's there. That's why I shoot at the rifleman squad. The APC normally on hold fire, not to draw attention to itself, but I knew that he knew it was around. I'm still going to go in because what the hell, I'm going to send these pit bulls down the bottom. He's actually got orcas now. This is something I didn't see, so he's going to be able to kill those harvesters. That's a pretty good move by him to get those orcas out as well, so that really jumped me quite hard there. And I'm going to power that down just so those guys can't actually take that. The APC has now made its way to the MCV, and I pretty much, yep, I need to capture this because he's got a second war factory and he's got a ref down. I waypoint back into the APC in case he packs up the MCV, because then the engineer will follow the next order, which is to get back into the APC automatically, and that can really do big things. Now I've got that there, so as you can see we're going to take his building now from him. Okay, so as you can see now, we're just moving along here to try to get rid of that power plant, because that power plant is pretty badly damaged now, so we can almost take that. So, of course, I'm building a lot of engineers right now, and that's going to cause him a lot of problems as well. He's having to put down, or he can't actually put down towers, so he actually has to sell off. And you can see this, you can really abuse that right then and there, because he can't put towers down, which means the only way he can kill you is with anti-infantry units or crushing you across. He did have to sell the refinery. That hurt. I've got these racks powered down now. I'm just deciding, yep, cool, it's not going to work. We'll sell everything up. We'll sell that up right now, and we'll just cut our losses there. But that really hurt him. Now he's still got orcas around, so I need to be wary of the fact those orcas are still here. I believe I've got a turret on the way. These orcas are actually moving up here now, and they're going to start shooting at the harvester. They actually use a volley on their MCV, and that's kind of important because without that extra round of missiles, he can only get 2 harvesters instead of 3 harvesters. So as you can see, I really just absorbed that. Even though I knew they had orcas, I didn't really do anything about it because I was trying to pump out and trying to micro that attack there. I did have pit bulls, but they're out of position. But now we really need to start doing something about this. This is a bit of a problem because he's got a lot of Predator tanks and he's going to try to push into my base. This is actually really worrisome. I have a war factory here. I'm going to use this as cover, or the refinery as cover. He's actually going to be able to destroy the refinery. I've only got 4 Predator tanks there. He's got almost twice as many tanks as I have, but I have the war factories. Or that Predator tank, he's got a bit of walkabouts. He's probably going to be destroyed here. The harvesters didn't really micro those ones back. I think I will micro them back momentarily. More Predator tanks you can see are coming from the bottom here. I've recalled those 5 tanks there, and that's going to allow me to push back the forces here from the other players. So that's really going to set him back a bit. I can see he's still got 4 orcas around, so there's still a problem. As you can see, I'm switching back to pit bulls. I'm like, yep, cool. I've got about a dozen tanks here now, so that's enough. We'll just go back to pit bulls here. These harvesters, some of them are just not quite sure what they're doing because they're stuck between fields, so I just reorganize those. We're going to move forward. We're going to shoot and move, focus, fire, and then shoot and move. So you click on a tank for them to fire it, then you give them a move order so they all move forward and they can all get in range of that target, and they keep firing at that one. APC is sitting around here. He's going to have to back off. Their orcas are heading down here. Not a lot in the way of anti-air. That one pit bull surprisingly managed him to, or pushing him back a little bit. Trying to pull that harvester now. I think it's going to be a little bit late for that. Second refinery will come down now when it decides it wants to go down. So they're not 100% sure if it wanted to go down or not. I still don't have a lot of AA, so that's probably my one weakness in this game here. As you can see, I'm really struggling for money because I have been losing a lot of harvesters here, and those Predator tanks are still up there, but I'm confident I can defend against them. I'm just selling off this whole base head area. I need money, and I need it fast, and so I figure that I'm actually ahead at the moment in terms of economy, so I can afford to sell that base up down there. I've got Tiberium secured here. I've got a few pit bulls out. 3 pit bulls is all you need to one-shot a harvester. I have quite a number of tanks coming in as well, and they're going to come in over here, and they're going to be able to get the crush off on those units. Meanwhile, these Predator tanks are going to come back in, and I'm going to start to pull some of these harvesters, the damage harvester come back. The pit bulls have to fight. They've really got no choice here. But again, at the end of the day, these Predator tanks are going to be destroyed. They're too heavily damaged to really do anything, and I probably could have pulled a few more harvesters. Some of those really heavily damaged ones did get pulled, and luckily he didn't focus that one that was right there, that red one. And as you can see, because he had to rebuild an MCV and then he had to drive it all the way to the expansion, he still hasn't got any refineries up. So I'm actually in a really good position. A lot of those harvesters, there's 3 in the red health there, and they're all going to survive. I'm just going to let them repair right to the point where they can actually refine at top speed, and these Predator tanks are pretty much history. I'm going for my own units now as well. I think I was thinking about maybe going for infantry armor push. As you can see, he's got some Predator tanks down the bottom. Not really a problem because essentially there's no base down there. I pretty much ditched it, and of course I do still hold 2 spikes as well, so that's going to cause a little bit of economic problem for him as well. So just moving back down to his base, I'm going to try to overrun his power plant right here, because, sorry, not his power plant, his airfield, because as you can see, we're going to come in and we're going to actually get a few shots off. Are we going to get any kills? I'm not 100% sure if we're going to get kills here. Alright, just a little bit of banter going on there in the chat as well, because the other player does have a pretty steep ego there, and I'm happy to rub it in a little bit at the moment. I've got orcas at the moment, as you can see, so he's in pretty terrible condition here. This is a really good replay to show the damage control of when I'm under attack, or the responses that I make. And as you can see, he's having to transition harvesters, so it means he doesn't have a refinery down here, and we're just going to easily take that harvester. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite finish it off there, so we're going to lose a few pit bulls to actually finish it off. These orcas now are pretty much sitting pretty, again, there's nothing here at all. His MCV is gone. I'm not 100% sure. I think he must have sold it at that point in time, realizing oh no, hang on, I did destroy it with those Predator tanks, didn't I? So He's in a world of pain right now. He's basically one-basing long-distance mining. He's still got these orcas, which can cause a little bit of problems. He's got quite a number of harvesters, so he can long-distance mine. I'm going to get another harvester kill, and then I think I just decide to go, I go straight for another harvester, and I am actually going to secure that kill as well. And as you can see, these predator tanks move in. I didn't even have to mic or anything. There's already tanks there. Rocket squads are going to be shooting at those orcas which are trying to come in. But again, he kind of just Q-moved his predators into me, which is great, because that means that threat is dealt with. I don't have to actually worry about it. Orcas are going to move around here now. I'm actually going to use the SAM turret and focus the damage one there. So as you can see, click on it and focus the damage one. Probably a bad idea, because the one it was shooting at, it probably would have destroyed at that point in time. So not the best attack there. As you can see, those predator tanks at the back can't actually shoot that because it's on a hill, so they have to get closer. It doesn't really matter. We've harvested this field out. We've still got another few harvesters. 2 ref down now at that field there, and I can just use the SAM turrets now, or the AA batteries, to defend that. Even though they're not terribly powerful, they will destroy the orcas if I put a few of them down. Have some infantry coming out as well, because oh, actually he's got these orcas moving around. Is he going to get one of those? No, he's not going to get the orcas, unfortunately. I didn't manage to launch those ones there, so that's great. So I'm just going to send them back. And as you can see, formation move over the airfield, so they can actually just repair up. Hard points is on the way, but that's probably going to get cancelled because his force is literally right there. And at this point, I know he's in some pretty steep trouble, so instead of wasting time and effort going for technology, I'm just going to pump out an absolute crap load of tier 1 units with upgrades, because he'll have no answer to that. He'll get overrun pretty quickly here. These harvesters, I'm actually going to use them to attack his forces here. Put another battery down there as well, because those orcas still haven't been dealt with. Those harvesters are going to get repairs, and they should be fine. The airfield surprisingly didn't go down. These orcas coming back again. This is his only refinery, so we can just pop that harvester that's in it and then move up here, because if there's any more harvesters, they'll be following. He's actually got another MCV, so these 2 damaged harvesters have been repaired, and they're going to go back to I'm going to send them to the blue field. I'm moving across here. This is probably not a good idea, because he spammed out a lot of rocket squads, which is actually pretty good of him, because I don't really have a lot of anti-infantry. These orcas now are going to get shredded pretty badly, but they do get they don't quite get that harvest, which is a bit of a pain, because I'm going to lose most of them, which is a bit unfortunate. One thing I am missing, of course, is the anti-infantry, which is probably what I need about right now, so selling off those units there as well. Composite armor is about to complete. As you can see, I got an armory. I don't think I went for AP ammo there. I probably should have gone for AP ammo, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to run them over anyway with my predator tanks. He's only got a couple of tanks, and once those tanks are dead, these rocket squads really don't have much that they can really do. I mean, they're going to just move through this area now. The orcas are coming back, but there's too many SAM turrets there. They will be destroyed. There's a few pit bulls there as well, but that's not going to achieve too much. So as we can see, we're going to overrun this base head area here now, and selling off that there. A bit of banter going on in the chat there. This player is somewhat salty, claiming that apparently this game was theirs. I'm not sure if they were playing the same game or something like that, because they got freaking smashed, but that was a good game. We'll move on to the next one. Alright guys, welcome back to another game here, and I really like this game because this is a really good example of how to base push the crap out of somebody. So we're on Twisted Arena here now, and we're going up against a pretty tough opponent right now, and we're going to show you how to base push. I'm not sure if I decided at the point in time of this game whether I was going to base push, but I think I decided very quickly that it's like, you know what, I'm going to base push. So we're starting out pretty stock standard, sending some scouts around the side. They've got rifleman scouts. I've obviously dealt GDI again in this situation. Going for my spike, a Twisted Arena. There's only one spike to really capture. It's very safe to do, so you shouldn't really lose it. I'm going to run straight down the guts here, keeping a very tight eye on that squad there. As I even move it away as I look away, so that way if something does come around, I'm running perpendicular instead of directly down the front. So I'm going to take that garrison. As you can see, still have this squad alive, not going to run into anything. Going to go for the far bunker because it provides extra scouting opportunities. And we can see that he's Black Hand now, and the best part is that he doesn't know I'm GDI because he can't actually see my rifleman scouts, because I revealed that fog and then I moved backwards and around, so he doesn't know what's going on. I'm going to go for a pit bull because you know, you don't not scout Black Hand. Like, people that don't do that are just like, oh, it's just a huge mistake. Like 9 times out of 10, Black Hand are going to try something in the first few minutes of the game. Like, they'll try, and they've got a lot of rushes as well. They've got a lot of rushes, and they're really powerful rushes as well. So you need to know exactly what they're doing. If they're rushing, what rush are they using? Because depending on the type of rush they use, you need different types of units to defend them. We're going to just try to crush this to speed up the killing time here, but as you can see, that's going to be the end of that squad there. Delayed my harvester for a little bit, but it's not too necessary. I've stalled without having to put the second refinery down. It's down now, so that's not too bad, I guess. Going for another harvester. There's the Reckoner. Alright, we see the Reckoner is there. We immediately cancel the Harvester and go for another Pitbull. It's like we need some Pitbulls. And he realizes now he's not going to be able to shake that Pitbull now. It was too close. He's going to take damage on that. So this is great because it's just stalling for time. He's trying to duke it out with the Black Hand, which is good. He's trying to block it with the Black Hand, but the fact of the matter is that my defense is going to become very, very good against this Reckoner. His only real hope now with this Reckoner is to hold on to it until he can perhaps sneak it in at a later point in the game. He's going to draft a squad there as well, and again, when money's tight at this period of the game, drafting like that can be a bit of a hassle. I've got a Foxhole right there as well, which is going to allow me to fall back to that. And because he's done this, I think that's why I've decided, you know what, I'm going to do a base push. I think it's more of a mid-game base push because I'm pretty sure I'm going to go for a refinery here, but I felt, he's Black Hand. He's either going to go into infantry or what do you call it? Look at that, he's trying to really hug the edge of the map right now, and of course you got to scout right to the edge of the map because this is what happens. And now he's been caught again. He's going to have to dump out his Black Hand, and you don't want to lose your dues to flame weapons. As you can see, I paused that extra refinery there. I'm actually going to pull that one Pitbull back to base because it's so badly damaged, and the Reckoner is retreating as well. So these Black Hand aren't really a problem. Because they can't do much without the Reckoner. They can go burn my Spike down, but that's not going to be. That's not going to make him cost effective or anything like that. It's going to hamper me in the later on the game. Another draft comes down. Every draft counts. I'm going to put that. That's a very aggressive refinery placement, I guess, because I wanted it as far forward as possible. We can see what he's doing. We can see he's repairing that Reckoner. And I'm just keeping an eye on, he's building harvesters, so I was pretty confident that, he's going to build, he's going to keep building economy. That's why you could see my mouse hover over the comm center. I'm like, do I need to get AP ammo? And I was like, no, I don't, because if you don't have AP ammo against a Black Hand push, the game can end very quickly, and you got to be really careful because on a map this small, Black Hand do like to infantry push, but I'm very confident, and you can see he's got a ref down now as well. I made the right call in this situation. It only took me a fraction of a second to make that decision as well, and we're going to put down this, and we're going to build Predator tanks because I just feel it's going to be the best option at the moment. If he goes into infantry, I can always just spam out APCs, which build even faster, so that's going to be perfectly fine. We're going to move these guys around here now, these Pitbulls. I'm going to be moving around. As you can see, I'm not losing sight of where that Reckoner is. I'm like, this Reckoner, I know exactly where it is, I know exactly what it's doing, and he's going to try to go around here, but these Pitbulls are still alive. He's got a War Factory there, since he's going for infantry as well. We're going to pop this Reckoner now. He's actually stopped moving it, so he hasn't been paying attention. He does move it back now, so his control of the Reckoner has been pretty good because he hasn't lost it yet either. These Pitbulls will be moving through. I'm not sure if they're actually going to get that Reckoner. It's so badly damaged. I think I do decide to go for it here. He's trying to build infantry and Scorpions now. It's going to be tough for him to do both of those without properly establishing his expansion. That rockets should seal the deal here on that Reckoner. I'm pretty sure that would have sealed that Reckoner for sure. I don't actually check. I'm not actually 100% sure if that Reckoner is disabled. I'm going to move the MCV forward because I want guns or watchtowers close enough to him. So you can see the Reckoner did get away, and I'm like sitting there going, oh my god, he got his Reckoner away. I want to focus the Scorpion, so I order the Predator tanks to attack that Scorpion tank, and then I give them another move order, and then I move to the next Scorpion tank. These Scorpion tanks will die extremely quickly, and then move forward to get the more crush on these units as well. I'm struggling for a bit of cash. I sell one of my War Factories immediately there. I've already got one on the front line here, and he's going for infantry, so it's not going to be as important now. The important thing is to get the towers down, and the APM is already being researched as well, so it's going to be up and running before we can even get his shrine upgrade done, which is great. We're moving in here. It's a bit of a meat grinder right now, but my units can withstand a lot more damage now. I'm starting to thin those numbers. A couple of my Predator tanks actually went down there pretty quickly, and he's starting to focus those guys. AP ammunition is done now, so this is going to be really important. You're going to try to pull that back, and I think it's just going to steady right now. As you can see, it wasn't a really full-hearted committed base push. That Black Hand squad is pretty much dead. I'm not sure what they're trying to do. The Reckoner is still alive, but of course it can't do too much. I'm just trying to get some of the harvesters to go to the blue Tiberian field and get these Predator tanks back at base as well. These two APMO towers are actually doing a fair bit of damage. I'm deselecting some of the heavily damaged Predator tanks. As you can see, organizing my forces. Another War Factory comes down, so I'm like, alright, cool. I went for another refinery, which is a bit of a problem, so I'm going to go for another War Factory now, upgrade a power plant just so I can get the extra power that I need to maintain this type of push. I've got a lot of money right now because I sold one of my War Factories, and now my economy has actually overtaken my level of production here, so you can see he's got a lot of these tanks out now as well, and I'm probably going to keep constructing these towers just because they're they're relatively cheap. I can see what's going on down the bottom. I got a second War Factory here. He does get the Reckoner in, which is a real big pain. There's really nothing I can do about that. You can see I'm looking. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly it is I can do against that. There's not a lot I can do. He's going to move forward these Predator tanks, sorry, these Scorpion tanks. As you can see, these Predator tanks, again, Predators versus Scorpions, man. Predators are so much better. People underestimate. I mean, of course, it gets to the point where Scorpions can overwhelm small amounts of Predators, but the Predators, there's not a lot of them there, but they're in a group that's large enough to really just pop these tanks. I'm fighting. He's stuck in between his buildings. He realizes he's got to come out now because his own buildings were actually blocking some of his Scorpion tanks, which helps me immensely. I'm going to move down to the south, so the tanks at the top are still being blocked by that War Factory, and they're having to come around. I am losing a number of Predator tanks, but the Scorpion numbers are thinning very drastically. And the thing is, if you keep the Scorpion numbers down, you're always going to need less Predators. Somehow I managed to clean that up with towers. I'm not sure how that managed to happen, but I think it must have already been damaged, and the AP ammo really just wearing down on those guys there. So, funnily enough, able to withstand that, and I'm going to send these Rifleman squads out to scout around. I'm going to move these guys to the expansion. Meanwhile, everything was in retreat while I was doing that, so I didn't have to worry about microing too much. These infantry are pretty much dead. He doesn't even have the upgrade right now. And my economy is pretty much cheering, so I'm going to go into Hammerheads now. Going to go for the far blue tip as well, so I've gone for both blue tip fields, sending an extra harvester down there, reorganizing just in the downtime. In the little bit of downtime there was between him attacking and me retreating, I'd reorganized my harvesters, and now I can go back on the offensive, and I'm going to move my MCV. I'm just like, there's no reason to stay here. I'm not going to go for technology, because if he goes for technology, he's going to be in a terrible position, because he can't, he's going to get overrun otherwise, and that's exactly what I'm doing right here, right now. So I'm not sure if he's going for tech, but it would be a mistake, because he needs to be able to withstand this Predator push. There's watchtowers right here, so he can't rely on infantry, which is what Blackhand would normally do. He has to go by his vehicles, or he has to fall back even further. And of course, he doesn't know. He probably assumes I'm going to continue to push my MCV closer to his base. As you can see, I've completely thinned out all the Predator tanks here now. I'm going for the expansion. I'm not going to need it. I'm going for Hammerheads. This game is going fantastic right now. I'm going to sell one of my War Factories. I don't even need to double War Factory right now. I'm just going to go into aircraft, and that transition is going to be killer. Drop the War Factory now, and he's in a world of pain. I'm not 100% sure what he was doing in the background, but I'm pretty sure he would have been going for some type of technology, and that's going to be the end of that game there. So pretty bitsy game there. Not a full-on committed base push, but nonetheless it wasn't too bad of a game. Alright guys, here we are for another game here against another player, and we have dealt the black, which is hand in this one here. So it's black spam, and we're on Rift, and basically it's a random mirror, so I'm going to go into this as if I don't know what the other player is just yet. So we're going to send a scout to the bottom, of course. We're going for one engineer, we're going for two engineers, so I'm pretty confident I'm going to get both those engineers into the... Am I going for a shrine? I didn't even check. Is this shrine material right here? I don't think it is. No, it's not shrine material, so I'm just going for two engineers because, you know, I'm Blackhand. My Blackhand squads are pretty bloody powerful, so we're going to be able to take at least one spy. As you can see, I'm actually going for another one here, so I'm going to send those down the guts here. I think I might be a bit concerned. Maybe I do know that I'm up against another. I think maybe I am up against another Blackhand. This match is a couple of weeks old now, so it's not like the other two which we played just the other day. But we've got double scout coming down the center. So yeah, cool. He is Blackhand, so we're going to be able to overrun this pretty straightforward stuff. He's going to try to throw the grenades, which he is going to hit, and I am going to destroy one of my squads, which is really bad. But I'm going to go for bikes. So we're going to go for 4 bikes. One of the squads does survive. The other squad is coming down here. We should be able to get this spike, no worries. So against another Blackhand, even if he flame rushes or goes flame infantry, it's not going to matter. He's actually going to kill my other squad there. So I actually end up losing just one. He loses one squad and I lose 2. So he came out on top there with that grenade throw. So that's unfortunate. But we're going for 4 bikes, and it's important that it is the 4 bike, because if we have 4 bikes, we can split them into 2 groups, and you're going to see this being done phenomenally, by the way. I actually call the harvester back early, because I'm like, you know, I need Tiberium like really badly, so we're going to have to call that back. So we're going to split them into a 4 here, and then there you go. So I'll put them on 2 control groups, so control group 1 and 2, and what we're going to do is that we're going to try to come across the enemy bikes, and that means when we come across them, I can give them one attack order, one on the other, so I can kill 2 bikes straight away without overkilling. But as you can see, his bikes actually circumvented mine, and that was bad. So he's actually going to come in. I've got Cabals. He's actually sold a ref, and he sold a power plant as well, whereas I only sold a power plant, and I kind of do need another power plant. He sold a second power plant as well, so I've actually come out pretty good in this trade here right now. So cancelling that harvester, realizing that's probably not a good idea. We're going to put down another power plant. I'm actually going to sell that. So actually that didn't turn out too well for me, did it? I've only got 2 bikes left, so that's not the best start in the world. Not the best handled one as well, but he did steal quite a lot of structures. He sold a ref and 2 power plants. I only sold 1 refinery, so I am actually up in that retrospect, which makes up for the loss of at least 1, maybe the second bike as well. So we're going to attack the spike just because we can. He's going to attack my spike. He's going to be able to destroy that relatively effectively just because he still has more bikes. I've still got 2 bikes over here, so we're going to come in and he sees these bikes straight away, so his reaction time is pretty good there. So we're going to have to play a little bit more on edge to be able to outwit this particular player. But as you can see, I'm still attacking his spike, which is great. I'm expecting his bikes to probably rock up pretty soon. I'm expecting them from the flank there. I don't have too much vision, which is important. And you can see I'm sending scouts out now, right down the guts to make sure we can see what's going on. So I think my bikes at the enemy spike may have been cleaned up. There's still a battle marker raging. Yeah, he does. He's cleaned them up, unfortunately, so I wasn't actually paying attention. I wouldn't have won that fight anyway, and those bikes were pretty heavily far behind the line. Putting down another power plant, and I'm going for another war factory here. Just stalling my bright production now, just so I can clean up that scouting squad there. So it's really on edge, and he's got a second war factory, and I can see it. I'm like, all right, cool. He's got 2 war factories. I need 2 war factories. He is slightly ahead in that retrospect there as well, and he has actually killed more units than me. So is it a huge advantage? No, it's only very minimal. So it's only tiny. I built a couple of buggies from that other war factory first because they're damage soakers. That's why you build them. They don't really have any other purpose. If they're out in front, they take a lot of rockets to go down, and it just draws fire. So he's going to try to come at me, bro, but I'm pretty confident that I can out-micro this particular player here at the moment. So he's a bit of a bowler when it comes to armies, and a bowler type player is someone who just has one massive, large army, and that's pretty much all they have, and they don't have anything else. So we're going to come in, we're going to quickly snipe down one of these buggies from the side here. As you can see, he blew up a few units there. Even a bike went down, I believe, and he's actually going to retreat. He's actually got a lot of buggies, probably a little bit too many. And then as you can see, I'm actually going to, this is a really big bluff, by the way. I'm going to come in, this is really dangerous what I'm doing. I'm moving across, I've got a round behind him, and instead of him going to my base, which is completely undefended, by the way, he chases me, and that's what I wanted him to do. I want him to chase me down here and say, hey, look, you have to come back. And now he's sending his forces back to his main because he can cut the corner there, which is a smart move. But he took the bluff, he took the cheese and the bait there. If he had ignored that army and gone to my main, he could have probably trashed my economy, and that was a really big gutsy move, and that's the type of move you need to get back into the game. You show him your army. It's like, hey, my army is here and I'm going just around yours, so come and chase me. And he did chase me, and of course I'm going to go. This is going to be extremely frustrating what I'm going to do to this player right now. As you see, this small group of buggy, which is threatening, is moving back and forth. Another group is moving into the main at the same time, and as you can see, this one moving into the main, there's actually no units here. He's got all his units in this bowler type army, which I was talking about. They're all together as one, and now he's got a few bikes starting to come out of the war factory, but they're already trying to leave to join the main group. So I'm going to be able to kill that harvest. I tilt the screen a little bit just so I can get a better angle, and then the group down the bottom is still retreating here, but they were moving back and forth, keeping the other army at the bottom of the map. And now, as you can see, I'm destroying several harvesters. Those harvesters overlap, so I get a little bit lucky there. A lot of bikes coming down. His whole army is coming back now, but a third harvester, I believe that's either 3 or 4 harvesters that have gone down. Remember, there's only about 7 or 8 bikes in that hit squad. So that was a massive trade there right now, because his economy is hurting, and I'm going to bring the rest of my buggy together. I've got a few scouts down the center, so I know that there's nothing coming from the top of the map. And as you can see, I'm going to move around the middle because I'm expecting his army to come through here. And he's coming through here right now, and he sees my army. He decides he's going to back off. He's got a bigger army than me right now, but it's only barely bigger. I'm getting a lot of lucky shots there as well, a lot of good shots there. And my buggies are out in front as well, which is in really good position at the moment. That harvester, he needs to be a little bit careful. He is going to come down here, so this is very threatening, and I sell up right away. I'm like, yep, cool. I immediately identify that I'm going to have to defend this pretty hardcore right now, not to lose any forces here. Those few Cabal squads are making a bit of a difference. I'm trying to flank, I'm trying to shoot and go back. He's actually drawing fire. Those Cabals drew a lot of fire. That was not necessary. He may have misordered there of some kind, but he's still got a pretty dangerous army. But I come in, and then I drop these shredder turrets as well, and I move back. The harvesters are not being targeted because he needs to destroy my units. If he can destroy my units, then he can have free reign over the harvesters, but the bikes are moving in behind the base, using the buildings as cover as well, and he's actually losing quite a lot of units here now. There's quite a number of Cabals on the ground, and as you can see, not even able to start shooting those harvesters. That was when I've watched this back several times, that was a clutch key defense there. Look at the units. I still have quite a number of buggy remaining after that. All these cabals, I'm going to move them out. As you can see, I ordered them all to one part of the map, and then I deselect them and move them out bit by bit so they all cover a different area of the map. And I'm going to sell off a power plant as well. Don't need so many power plants as I have sold off that refinery. Refineries suck up power, so when you sell them off, you don't need the power plants or as many power plants. I'm going to try to go for the blue Tiberium field, but that attack really hurt him. He's going to move into infantry, so he's expended all his buggy. He's taken some significant economic damage, so he's going into infantry, which is a pretty good call. You know, that can obviously do a lot of damage. I'm just making sure that harvest doesn't go walkabouts there. I should be able to finish this spike off. He's still got those war factories, at least one of them. I can see it just there, but I have this group of buggy, and I think I'm going to continue to produce these for the time being, but the infantry is going to have to be dealt with, so yeah, we're going to have to fall back here. The idea is that we want to, I'm actually moving my army back up as well, because I don't want him to go down to the blue tib field, because I probably can't defend that area down. He's actually pulling back with his buggy, so he doesn't have as many as I thought he did, and he's going to sell this off, so that really shows me that he's really committed to this infantry. Maybe some type of tech, redeem infantry, really powerful things like that. So I think I've identified that at this point I need to start getting my tech up, so I go for a tier 2, which is already done by the way, and I think I'm going to go straight to a tier 3 as well, because I realize I need one. I'm actually still going to go for, I'm actually going to rebuild these bikes, so there you go. I'm going to keep the bike numbers up. I think I just want to restock on a few bikes, so there's actually a lot of buggies here as well. So I've got another group here, and I'm very well defended right now. He can't attack from the top or the bottom. Otherwise, he's just going to be destroyed. I'm actually having a look around here, seeing what's what. There's that small hit squad still there, and the rest of them now moving through. You can see blue Tiberium is gone, so I've actually swung the game around with those two important plays. One, getting into his base, pulling him out of position and taking out those harvesters. And then two, defending the counter-attack, which was a really aggressive counter-attack, by the way. That was critical. So those two major engagements or major points in the game so far both went in my favor, even though the start didn't turn out that great. The start was only very minuscule in the grand scheme of things, because I lost a few extra bikes, no big deal. Slightly behind on my build, no big deal. It's not going to make that much of an input. Some people say, oh, if you're slightly behind or if you have slightly less, then that's it, the game's over. No, it's never ever like that. It's still 100% 50-50. You'd have to be significantly far behind for that not to be true. And a lot of people, even if they lose engineers, they'll just give up the game. But in actual fact, losing a single engineer isn't actually that bad. It's easily recoverable very quickly. As you can see, my money is pooling because I'm just trying to go for clicks right now. I've got him boxed into this area here, so we're just going to move in through this base head here. Juke him out from the top as well, and then I'm going to pull those forces back, because I realize that's a bit of a suicide mission. We're going to drop this on that refinery as soon as that other harvester is in range, so we get those two harvesters. He's going to move them, it's going to be too late. I think he sold the refinery, but the harvesters are definitely history. That MCV is now going to move to the center. I believe I'm going for, yeah, at this point in time, I think I decided to go for multi-MCV because of the infantry threat. He doesn't have enough buggy left to threaten me now, and I think I'm going to bring all my buggy together because they've been pretty thoroughly smashed. You can see about 25 bikes and about 10 buggies there. I'm not actually sure how many buggies there were, I'm just guessing. But going to be moving through here right now, and going to go for the charge particle upgrade. I'm going to redeploy. And I'm going to make a move for the middle field here. Have I gone for the multi-MCV? Because this is definitely one of those maps where I decided to go for the multi-MCV. I've got a lot of buggy remaining, so that's important. And yeah, I'm going for 2 right now out of my remaining war factories, so I'll have 3 of them very shortly. I'll make a push for the center field and I'll win. He's got buggy, he's got bikes, but again, he just doesn't have enough. I've got more now. I've really overtaken him. He's gone for infantry, so he can't hope to keep up with my numbers if I've continued to buggy. And I think I'm actually going to go for the bottom field here now as well. He's going to have to pull his infantry back. There you go. He's selling up the shrine right now because he kind of has to defend against this. I'm going to take out the power plants because the power plants are something I can actually destroy, whereas shooting the MCV isn't going to do a lot of damage. I'm shooting at it now because that's the only thing left, and I can he might have to spend money to repair that. So, that's somewhat important. I'm sending both these guys to the middle, so the build radius is going to be crazy. And it's not as if I need to get there quickly. I mean, shredder turrets build amazingly quickly anyway, so it's not something that's going to be a problem. Charge particle upgrade beam is done, I believe. I'm going to go for some purifiers because I will eventually go into man spam myself. And as you can see, I'm starting to go into everything here. Every which way, trying to overrun this infantry squads here, but as you can see, even with all these buggies, it's so difficult to kill the man spam. The man spam will just suck it up. The bikes are trying to run through, but they're getting completely destroyed. I'm just going to tib vein right on them. I'm just like, this is just not going to work. Have I tib vein yet? No, I'm actually going to sporadically damage every harvest. You can see I was purposely targeting every Witch Harvester and splitting my fire. That might seem somewhat weird, but it's because I'm going to Tiv Vein them, and now it's not going to matter. It's, they're all damaged enough that most of them will be destroyed. I've got this happening here in the middle of the map as well. I've got the Redeemer Engineer facility. I place it very heavily far forward because he really doesn't have anything to threaten me but infantry, and so I'm not afraid of what he might throw at me right now. So here we go. I got macros for that as well. That's why you can see the defense tab is moving so ridiculously quickly right now, because we have that there. And I'm just going to wait for him to move in range a little bit before I start dropping these. I want him to commit. Actually, no, I'm going to drop them now. Okay, there we go. So you want to spread them out like this because it'll make them really easy to drop. I'm going to sell these War Factories off, bring these Purifiers forward as well. I'm going to drop a second line behind the first one, and it's going to make it really difficult. And we're going to just queue more of them. You can see the macros there just make it ridiculously lightning fast to do. And of course, with all these charged particle beams here, this is going to make it really difficult for him to really do anything. A third wave of them come in now, and he really can't handle what's actually happening to him. So he can't believe that this has actually happened. Going to drop another one up there. That one there deciding not to drop down quite well, but it will drop down now. There we go. Redeemer comes out, and I've got all these Purifiers. I can go into any tech I want now because the middle is secured. He's got no money left. He's out of money. These harvesters need to be reorganized. And as you can see, I'm not even bothering to microing that battle. There's no point. These shredder turrets are just going to destroy everything. And that is the end of the game. So that was a pretty rock solid one. It's all about positioning in those black hand mirrors.